We spend most of the first 100 days trying to get actually people approved that are his staff. There are 1,200 people the Senate has to go through and do confirmation on, what's called advice and consent. All of those will happen during that first 100 days. We're not going to get it done. There'll be many that will continue on through the summer and into the fall even, because there's so many in that process. So people that have an expectation for a lot of legislation to happen during this time period, I always smile and say, you don't understand the rhythm of Congress, the beginning of every administration's people, more than his legislation. Now he's done about $61 billion in regulatory relief. That's a pretty big deal. That's money that goes right back into the American economy. Got a lot of executive orders to try to clean some things up. Some are being challenged in court, some are not, and they're going through. I think he's picked a pretty good staff to get going. That's a big deal. He's got more people to be able to put in place, and some challenges with the organization early. The first 50 days or so, they're trying to get organized. It was a little messy getting organized, so I think I'd give him a solid B minus, just because I think he has made some really solid progress, but there's still a few things still to get done.
Now, my last question. This country is so polarized right now.
I've noticed.
What do you think kids my age could do to unite us?
Well, I would tell you one of the first things I would say is a lot of students are on social media, and they use social media to say the meanest, dumbest things ever. And they'll hear some rumor about something, or they'll see somebody post a picture, or they'll see some story, and they'll believe it immediately. And then they'll say angry, mean things they would never say to someone's face, but they'll say online all the time. That makes it worse in our country. And I've never understood how if someone says something mean to somebody online, that makes the situation better. So I encourage everyone, and I do talk to students a lot, I encourage everyone to think about what you're posting on social media and what you're writing. If you wouldn't say that to someone's face, why would you ever write that on a social media setting? You may think I'm the big tough guy because I can say a mean thing online. You're really not. It really shows you're very unkind and mean. That doesn't show you're smart. It shows the opposite of it. So one of the things that we can do is learn to be able to speak to each other respectfully again. We're losing that. We all don't agree on everything. What's your favorite football team?
College
Yeah.
or
Let's take professional football team.
Dallas Cowboys.
See, that'd be my favorite football team as well as the Dallas Cowboys. Clearly, that's the right answer. That's America's team. One of my staff members, his favorite football team is the Washington Redskins. Clearly, he's wrong. Okay, it's a wrong team. He and I get along great, but he picked the wrong football team. And when the Cowboys beat the Redskins, which they did twice last year, we can talk about that all the time. Okay, and we can still get along on other things. For some reason, when it gets into politics and other things, it's becoming so angry that people feel like they can't even talk to each other about things. We need to back up and say there's a lot of things we agree on as Americans, and the things we disagree on, we should at least say it in a respectful way. So that's one big thing. And I would tell you another thing is, for some reason, there's a generation growing up that's afraid of people of faith. And I don't understand that. We've always been a country that people could have faith and live their faith. But now we're becoming afraid if someone has their faith and they talk about Jesus or they talk about their faith out loud to other people. They're like, whoa, you can't talk about that here. I was like, why not? We're America. We can talk about everything. So learning how to be able to live your faith and learning how to be able to speak to people online, I think, are a really big issue.
Thank you, Senator Lankford, for your time.
Glad to be able to visit with you. Good hunting and continue cheering for the Cowboys.
Yeah, how about them Cowboys? I thank Senator Lankford for taking his time. I know he's very busy. I'm Phoenix with PhoenixRisingInAmerica.com, and this is our country.